Yo, what is up guys? This is Kyle from Kyle's Game Room, and a little while ago I made a video saying should I do a supersonic playthrough of Sonic Lost World, and I got a couple of yeses, but I got another question. Well, it was kind of a question. They were saying how they subscribe to me for like the gaming merchandise that I get, and the guy was wondering, did I get anything new? Well, I have, but unfortunately I never really made a review for it. I tried doing an unboxing, it kind of failed, and I tried doing a review of it, and again, it kind of failed, and here we go. What I got is the Pit Figma. I did say I was going to do a review on this, but again, a bunch of stuff happening, the camera was failing, but hopefully everything should be okay. Alright, so we're going to go over this Pit Figma. I ordered this about a week ago, and my tin fell. Yay. So, on the front we see a Japanese seal quality Nintendo sticker. It's not like the same one that we've seen on the Link Figma. So, it's kind of weird. It's really because the Figma of Link, that was actually distributed in America, while this one was actually bought from Japan, then redistributed. So again, it's kind of weird. Alright, so we get Pit, we see mono eye and an extra face. We see the Figma logo, the action figure series, Pit in Japanese. You can see a Japanese logo of Kid Icarus Uprising, because this is based off his appearance in that game. Alright, so next on this side, we get a nice, beautiful picture of Pit. And when I put him on my shelf, you see the figure like this. So you see the corner, and then you also see the figure itself. So like, this is a good side to like put the figure on the shelf on. So there you go. On the back, we see plenty of pictures of Pit. I don't really know what it says on these. Like, I don't know what it says up here. It probably says, oh, you can put it in so many different poses, blah blah. These are pictures that you can already see all over the internet. It's really cool. You can see Pit just looking like a hero, doing whatever. We see Pit with his little, like his bow that turns into like a windmill looking sword. I never played Kid Icarus Uprising. I wanted to play the game. However, I heard that it's hard for people who are left-handed, and I am left-handed. But I might give it a shot eventually. Then we see him with the bow, with the arrow, and two little rings on there. That is something I want to talk about later. And then we see how he also has two extra rings that you can put on his arm, and how his little bow can turn into two little swords, and it also shows how it has the mono eye. And then it also it also advertises, you can also get Dark Pit if you want to. I might get it eventually, because I have $12 in the store credit for Big Bad Toy Store, and I'll explain about that later. Okay, then we see two AR cards that this thing comes with, and that's really cool. We also see a bunch of different like information, like choking hazards, ages 15 plus. Fortunately, we don't see any diamond certification or anything like that, so I guess it was bought straight from Japan, and then there you go. So, it would probably make one nervous if they're going to buy this figure. Anyway, we see a Figma on the side. Nothing really special, no extra pose for some reason. Top and bottom are the same. Alright, so enough of looking at the box. Let's look at the figure itself. Alright, so I took everything out of the box, and before I show off what all comes in the box, I want to show the background of the box, just like how Link had it set up. We get the Japanese logo of Kid Icarus Uprising, and you can actually cut it out for the DI stage, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't really have, at least over here in the States. So, we don't have to worry about that. We just care about the figure itself. So what all comes in this little setup? We get the basics. We get the basic Figma stand. Yay. And we get a little Ziploc bag. Yay. But I don't even use it. I just use the box, because it's just a much better way of displaying it on your shelf and such. We get instructions in case we don't know how to play with our toys. What's really cool is we get these AR cards. They didn't have to do this. This is really cool. These are Japanese, but I still do believe they work with the game, because all you need is the picture. You don't need the text. Okay, what else comes in this set? We already saw the Pit figure. We see the mono eye. It also comes with its own little stand, so there you go. And we saw the face. But what else comes with this set? We see two pieces of the bell, Again, I don't really know much of this because I never played the Kid Icarus Uprising game, so I don't really know too much of the story, nor what these weapons are called. And yay, my stage is falling apart. Let me fix that real quick. Alright, I fixed that up, and I absolutely hate this camera, so go me, because it keeps shutting off on me. Anyway, let's keep moving on. We also get these 2 arrows, well not arrows, but they're pieces of the bow. You can actually use them as swords, and the handles come off, so you can combine it into one handle, so you can do the bow setup. So that is really, really excellent. We also get mini hands. We get standard fists that come on Pit himself. We get what people like to call the molester hands, because the way they're shaped is just really, really awkward. We get 2 holding things hands, and these guys actually have hand guards, so that is really cool. So yeah, go us. We also get 1 extra hand, and it's exclusive to his right hand. It's the arrow hand. Go us. Alright, again we get Mono Eye with his little stand. Go us. We get a couple of rings. We at least get a couple of sets. This set of rings is for Pit's arm. I will show that off soon. And we also get another set of rings that go onto the arrow. And I'll talk about these guys later. And we also get the arrow itself. Nice light and blue. It's pretty awesome. Alright, so let's go over Pit himself. Alright, so I'm going to be recording this in like multiple different like recordings because this camera keeps shutting off. I freaking hate it. I'm almost want to record on my 3DS, but that's super horrible quality. So I'm just going to take my chances with this. Alright, so let's go over Pit. Alright, so for articulation, we have a ball joint on the head. We have universal shoulders. We get the Figma joint on the elbow. So it gets the regular elbow and then bam, biceps levels. So yeah, go us. Okay, we get the somewhat ball jointed wrist. It's probably technically not a ball joint, but it moves just like one, so it's pretty awesome. We get a ball joint at the torso. It is kind of loose and it can pop off a little bit easily, so you might want to be careful with that. Same with the legs. The ball joints, like they're ball joints, and they do kind of pop off easily, especially this leg itself. So if it does pop off, don't worry, you just pop it back in. It's not hard to pop in. Okay, we get standard knee swivel, about 90 degrees, and I don't want to say this is on a ball joint at the ankle, but we do have ankle articulation, and there's no toe articulation, just like Link. We also get wing articulation, so that's really awesome. We get the Figma joint, so it goes up and outwards, and then we get, I want to call this the Jazzwares knees for the Sonic figures, where it goes both ways. So that's really, really cool. Great sculpt. He's a short guy. He's probably around 4.5 to 5 inches. I want to guess around there. So yeah, he's a short guy, but he's still a cool figure nevertheless. Like, this is probably one of my favorite Japanese figures I've gotten so far. Mega Man X is probably my overall favorite figure when it comes to articulation. When it comes to accessories, Sonic is my overall favorite. But this guy does come with plenty of accessories. Like, he's really, really cool. I just love him. Like, he's just, I can't put it in words how much I love this figure. Unfortunately, his wings make him top heavy, so if you try to have him out like that, he will fall. So that's something I do want to make sure you guys are concerned about. But if you have him out like this, it still looks pretty cool. But since I have a white background, it looks kind of awkward, so I just gotta make the lighting effects kick in. So there we go. The hands pop off super easily. The hair piece is something I do want to tell you guys about. This is just my figure, most likely, but if this happens to you, you're not alone. The hair piece falls out super easily. I'll be playing with it around like wee, and then it just falls off. I'm like, oh crap, where'd it fall? So when you put it on, press as hard as you can from every angle. So then, and pretty much almost guarantees that's going to stay in. But if it still falls off, I recommend that you buy some sticky tack. Just put a tiny bit on here, so then it doesn't like really affect the figure, but it sticks in well enough that it that stays on. And my hairpiece fell into my heater vent. Yay! Quick edit now. Alright, we got it, ladies and gents. Here we are. Alright, so now I can actually show off how to swap out his face and how to swap out his arms and stuff, blah blah blah. He only comes with one interchangeable face, People say, oh, you should have came with a lot more, because he's a very emotional guy. He has a lot of facial expressions in Kid Icarus Uprising. And there are Figmas out there where you can actually customize its own face. So that is something they should have done for this figure, but they didn't, unfortunately, which kind of sucks. But whatever, I can deal with it. So what you do is take off the hairpiece, obviously. Pull out the hair. Pull out the hair. We already pulled out the hair. Pull out the face. Pull it from the bottom and then the top. Normally, when it comes to the Link figure, I just pull from the ears, but he has very tiny ears, so we can't do that for this figure. Swap it out with the Battle Cry face. This face seems to fit in more tightly than the other one, but again, this is probably just my figure. These kind of stuff vary from figure to figure. Why that is, I have no idea. But when you press this hair on, don't press it so hard that when you slip, you end up breaking this. Luckily, I didn't yet. Notice I said yet. But yeah. And swapping off the hands is super easy. It's pulled off, there you go. The peg is already in the figure itself because these hands are super big, so they're not set up like Link where he has his own little tree of hands. So, whatever. We're going to use the holding things hand for one hand, and then use the arrow hand for the other. Sometimes they can kind of pop off kind of easily if you don't press them in hard enough, but like, if you want them to fit in right, you have to press really hard, and that may end up harming the figure, so be careful. Alright, so let's pull out one of these little swords. Feed it through, and there you go. Alright. Alright, let's get out of there. Up, fell out. Hold on, let me just push it out. There we go. But it can get a little bit more difficult. Like, when I show you the other one, the grip on this seems to be more, I'm not sure if it's like a little bit thicker, or if it's worse. I don't know what it is, because I cannot pull it out for the life of me. So what I like to do is, if I can't get it through like this, what I would recommend doing is pulling off the hand so you don't harm the figure itself. There you go. Pull out the longer handle that's supposed to be for the double-sided bow, and then feed it like a little bit less than halfway through one side of the hand. Alright? So then you have plenty of room to pull it out, and then pull out the other one. So there you go. So now, let's pull off the other handle, and let's show off the double-sided handle. See, there's pegs on both sides, and it's longer. We just put it on. See? Halfway done. Then, put on the hand. See? There we go. I'm trying to do it, but then I ended up taking it off camera, so I apologize for that. Okay, then you take the other side. And since these are on swivels, you can change it like this, so he's doing the spinning attack, or do it so he's doing the bow. So there you go. And if you hear Meg and my brother, they're on the other side of the wall, so that's why. Okay, anyway. So if you want to do the spinning attack, there you go. But we're going to be showing off the arrow. Before I show off the arrow, let me show off the rings. Okay, you take off the hand. There's two different sets of rings for two different reasons. This set of rings is for his arm, alright? These ones have little pegs on the side, and he has little holes on his little arm, so then they can fit in. This is something that I usually stay away from, because I heard these guys are pretty flimsy, and they do pop out kind of easily, so when you play with it and it falls off, it's just a nuisance, so I just stay away from it. See, we're halfway done. So there you go. Then you put the arm on, or the hand on. I think with this hand, you actually can just slip it on and off, but when it comes to the fists and the open palms, they are a little bit more of a hassle, especially with the open hands. You can't take them off with crap, but with the fists, they just might become a little bit of an issue. So see, there you go. Again, I usually try to stay away from this because they're flimsy and they just fall off easily, and it's a nuisance, so I'm like, screw it, I'll just pretend that they're there. Alright, then let me show off the arrow. Okay, these extra rings are for the arrow, but this is something I cannot stress out enough. Do not use these for the arrow, because the arrow itself is so flimsy. When you put them on, it bends, and this thing is very, very skinny, as you can tell, and it will snap. It snapped on me, and I was very, very angry. I tried super gluing it, but here's super glue got on the outside of it, and like the things, like the holes are so tight that if you have super glue on here and there's just a little bit of super glue on there, it will not get past that super glue, and mine broke around the tip, so it's screwed forever. And yeah, so when you get your figure, do not use those rings. This will snap. I tried seeing if I can get a replacement figure, but unfortunately Big Bad Toy Store couldn't help me out with that. So they gave me $12 in store credit to keep it as it is so I can fix it up myself. And I'm trying to see if Good Smile Company can hook me up with an extra arrow. Because about how mine broke. So I just gotta wait for that email. Alright, so you just plug it in like that. Then, gotta feed it like that. There you go. Looks cool, doesn't he? Yeah. Oh yeah, look at him go. What a hero. He's an angel. Blah, blah, blah. Alright, so there you go. So let's have him shoot mono eye. He's like, really? You're missing me. Alright, so let me go over the pros and cons of this figure. So the pros, it's a very excellent sculpt. I love the figure very, very, very much. The fact that it comes with those AR cards, it wasn't necessary, but it's excellent. It should have came with, like, now we're going to move into the cons. It should have came with more faces. You should have been able to customize your own. These rings, like the ones that go onto the arrow itself, should have been sculpted onto the arrow because it's too flimsy to even try to play freaking Russian roulette with those things. These rings, sometimes I kind of wish they were sculpted on, but there are some times where he doesn't have them on, so I can understand why you have them as an option. In fact, it actually kind of makes it easier for you, so you don't have to worry about them breaking. But, again, my major issue is these rings should have been sculpted onto the arrow itself, because then you don't have to worry about breaking your arrow. So when you get your figure, do not mess with those rings. It was $60, and then it was like probably $7 shipping, or almost $8 shipping. I paid a lot for this figure, and I'm not going to complain about the size, making it too much. It's just the issues. Like it's not only the hairpiece, but the arrow. Like, when that thing breaks, there goes all your money. And I'm not sure if you can replace it that easily either. So, is he worth picking up? If you want to get a Smash Brothers display, by all means, go ahead, pick him up. But, at least in Smash Brothers, they don't use these rings on the arrows, at least not from what I've seen. So, don't worry about them. And he is a cool figure. So I'm probably going to pick up Dark Pit only because I have the $12 in store credit for Big Bad Toy Store. The next review I'm probably going to do is either the Crash Bandicoot jetpack figure, because I just ordered that. And I'm also going to do a review of the Full Metal Alchemist Pocket Watch, because again I got one of those. So yeah, I'm excited to do those reviews. So, if you like what you saw, be sure to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And if you have any more questions about this figure, let me know. And I'll provide a link to the Big Bad Toy Store so you can get this figure. $60 is kind of expensive for this figure. But, if you would have ordered him like brand new from Ami, he would have been only like $30-some. Then it would have been worth every single penny. However, he's sold out there, so you can't buy it from there anymore. So now that we know about these figures, when there's a new one coming out, like the new Luigi Nendoroid and new Toon Link Nendoroid, I'm going to pre-order it from Ami. In fact, I'm going to pre-order 2, because then it's going to be pretty much as what I'm going to be paying if I buy it from like Big Bad Toy Store or Amazon. Then I could resell the other one for cheaper than what they go for on those sites. So, there you go, guys. That is my thoughts on the Pit Figma. He's pretty cool, but a little expensive. So if you have the cash and you're extra careful, buy it and don't use those rings. Alright guys, I will see you guys next video.